A very warm afternoon to everybody, and today we are here on our briefing session for the Tuesday, that is the 17th of March, 2026. And my name is Anurag. I'm the Senior Client Success and Learning Manager at BMN Capital, and today we are going to start these sessions. So, as we know that the structure of this briefing session is, first we are going to see that what are the important news headlines which we have to keep into mind, and these are the headlines which are going to make the market symmetry for today, right? And we try to understand the market trajectory. Once we understand the news, then we move on to the macroeconomic data releases, right? Which data have been released and which are still pending to be released, and how they will shape the market. Once this is done, then we'll connect everything, collect everything, and then we jump into our technical charts and try to connect the dots and try to design the correct opportunity in today's market. So, without wasting time, the most important news for today, number one, the state of Hormuz, and because of this, again there is turbulence, and we have seen that the oil prices have been spiked up. Then the RBA have lifted the rate, right? So they have increased their interest rates by 25 basis point, right? So this will be the surprise. In Australia is the first central bank which have increased their interest rate, which is an indication that inflation is going to rise. One country has started, we have war, other banks are also going to follow the same thing. Then the European stocks head for lower open. So as a result, because of the war, high probability that prices are going to go down, especially for the riskier assets like stocks. Now, if I talk about gold, gold is already trading at a 1 month low, but today we are going to discuss the CFTC data, commitment of traders data, what that data is telling us, right? And what are the outcomes from that data is coming, right? How to interpret that data. So we are going to spend time on it. So without wasting time, now let's move on to our economic calendar for today. So over here, this is Tuesday, right? So in the morning, we have one data, which is the RBI interest rate data. So previously it was 3.85%. Now it's 4.1%. Very good for Australian pairs. Australian pairs are going up, right? Now the 20-year Japanese government bond auctions, right? So previously they are offering a 2.968% of interest rate. They have increased it. It is an indication the Japanese government are in a turbulence, and as a result, yen is getting weaker. Then the 50 week bill auction. So again, there is a sudden 1 basis point of increase in the interest rates. Moving on to the data which are still pending to be released. So at 3 o'clock, we have the South Africa data for the bond auctions, right? So those who buy gold or other minerals from South Africa, they tend to hedge their risk by creating their position into the bond market. Then moving on to the important data, and that is the most important data for the European zone, that is the geo-economic sentiment data, right? For the Germany also, for the euro also. So this is the data at 3:30, which is going to reshape the market, especially those pairs which are coming from the euro group. Then moving ahead, after that we have the Treasury Gilt 2031 auction. So this is for the Britain, same like the bond, right? They have gilt over there. Then we have the Bank of England Evan speech. So there is one member speech. So we'll get lot of it that what Australia have did, what is the planning of the Bank of England, right? So we'll get an idea. Now come to a US session, which is the most volatile session for today. And this is the most major catalytic data for today, that is the pending home sales data. So previous figures are in negative, right? Consensus is for an improvement, but still into the negative territory. So let's see how the market is going to react and what are the outcomes of this data, right? And high probability that this is going to be into the negative terms only. But yes, if this figure come in positive, it's a very good sign for dollars and a bad sign for gold. Then we have the 6 week and 20-year bill auctions, right? So we have to see this whether they are increasing it or not. And then we'll go to the TIPS website. From TIPS website, we can see that how much people have participated in this auction, right? So how much money they are getting. If there is very good response, so US is still the king, right? And if this is not the case, then a big problem for the US, right? So this are the data. So although datas are quite less as compared to the upcoming days, right? That is the Wednesday and Thursday, which will be the most volatile. We have lot of important data for today, right? Now let's move on to the technical chart. So without wasting time, just give me a second. Let me share you my technical chart. So this is my chart over here. Now I think you have access to my screen, right? Let me jump over here, right? And this is the market structures we've been continuously watching, right? So let me make it smaller so it will be more clear, right? So we have identified this zone a lot of time, a very strong sideways movement. Then there will be a sudden fall into the prices after testing this. After the breakout, there is two time test, right? Now before we discuss today's market structure, we need to see that how this trend have been started, right? And how the market is reacting. So what happened first, there is an breakout, then there is an correction. Then again, prices try to go down, but fail to go below the low of this candle, right? Lot of people think that there will be an start towards the upside, right? But the confirmation is only going to come if we have a close above the this swing high, but this doesn't happen. And this trend line which I've drawn with the green line over here, right? Focus on my cursor, right? See, prices have been rejected, closed every area, right? Now again prices fell down again, they are moving sideways. So we need to mark a important support or resistance area. Now we need to readjust this area, right? So this is the area which have been broken and which have been tested also, right? And we have a very big imbalance in the prices, right? Over here. So this is the imbalance area. So the probability is quite high that prices might take a test towards the upside to this zone, right? And this zone is at 5095 and 5070, right? So yes, still there is probability that the prices might go up, right? And if I want to draw the trend line over here, right? So I need to connect this dots and this dot give me the perfect trend line, right? Three touches have been done. This is the latest swing points. Two candles have tried to go down, and now the bulls are putting their power, right, to push the prices upwards. So we need a clear direction above this level. Second thing to keep into mind if you're trading into gold, this is the area again and again prices are getting rejected from this area, right? So we need to mark the price levels over here, right? So this is the price level which is at 4045, right? Above this, if any candle closes, right, then this will be the target. Then again price will come back, test this area, and if after testing this area there is a correction, right, and then again the strength is coming back into the picture, high probability that it will break this area and again move up, right? Because of the CFTC data, right, which we are going to discuss in the last, and then we'll close the session. So yes, this is for the gold. Now let's see what silver is telling us. This is the fall, right, which we have seen. Then again, prices have made lower low formations, but over here in the RSI, if you focus, there is a classic bullish divergence, right? So a very good trading opportunity have been created, right? The confirmation of this trading opportunity would come when we have this strong candle which have broke this trend line, right, at this, and see what happens. Prices break it, went above, then again came back, retested it, and now again they are continuing upwards, right? So this is the candle, this is the candle, right? This is the candle, which is the candle which telling me that here you have to find the footprints, right? Footprints of the institutions are sitting over here, right? So we have marked this area. This fair value gap have been already tested, right? And prices have went above, give me the close, and again taken the corrections, right? So this would be my immediate resistance area, and this is a very strong fair value gap also, right? By connecting this area. Now either I need a break below this area or a break above this area, then only I'll think of taking a call or decide my biasness. But looking at the current market symmetry, this is H1 time frame, right? A bullish engulfing pattern, right? Then we have a try, that is the climax, right? So they have tried to design the markup towards the upside but failed. And again, all of a sudden, a very strong candle which successfully give me the close below the low of the previous candle, then the retest have been done. So for me, if prices again came back down and take this low right over here, which is resting at 80.53, that would be the time I can take a sell call, and the probability that prices will break this area is very high. And already this fair value gap have been created. So the probability toward the downside is going to increase if I find candle going or breaching this arrow which I marked, right, which is the low of this candle. Now let me draw the structure over here. So this is a swing point over here, right? Just by connecting this point, I have a trend line setup, right? And the probability is quite high that in the next candle prices might break this, right? So if you are a very aggressive trader for a short term period, you can take a sell call toward the downside. Now come to the US oil, which is the most important. See this market structure. I've identified this channel that prices, and this is called a measured move, right? Prices been trading into this range, breaked it, retested it, make this swing low, right? Then again try to came back at the same level, which is kind of double bottom formations over here. So that means lot of liquidity is been resting below here. Okay. Now again prices try to go up. Then again we have a retest toward the downside. So the weakness is coming, and the probability is quite high that before going up, because all the fundamental factors are supporting that the oil prices should go up, but before going up, the good buying area would come when the liquidity has been grabbed by the market, which are the stop losses which are resting below this area, right? So we need to wait for this area to test. Till the time, it's not good to take any kind of positions, right? Even if you see I have a low point, then I have a high point, then I need a low point, then I have a continuation towards the upside. If this kind of market structure setups, then only I'll think of taking a buy call, right? But the probability toward the downside is quite high, right? So we need to wait for it. How the confirmation will come, because the picture is not clear in the H1, so we need to either move towards the bigger time frame or towards a more microscopic look. So we'll go to the 15-minute time frame, and if we have a look, see high, low, high, low. So high, lower high formation, low, lower low formations, right? If we see the indicators are also saying the same thing, right? Then again, the prices try to go above the high till this level. So see, this is the high and this is the high. Over here, these highs are almost equivalent. That means there is a hidden divergence, right? Hidden bearish divergence is there. So we need prices to take a U-turn toward the downside and go below the low of this too, right? Which is the tweezer bottoms, right? So if prices went down, I can take a sell call toward the downside, and all the strength which the bulls have put into the charts right now by making these two candles have been wiped out by the market, right? The alternative scenario is that prices continues to go above this level, right? And we have another fractal forming over here, and prices went up. So prices first will take the liquidity which are resting this area, then it will go down, right? So either we need to take a decision of a sell from the reversal point of this swing point, right? Or if this not happens and prices takes a U-turn and gives us a close below the low of this candle, then we'll take a continuation trade toward the downside, right? And my target would be at 91.96 level, right? Which is this level. Now this is the natural gas, right? So prices have been went up, then again went down. This is the trend line which have been breached. So let me, because I have a new swing point, so I need to draw or revise my trend line over here. And this is the candle which have broke the trend line, right? And currently the natural gas is trading within the range of this candle, right? So mark this candle range as very important. If prices goes down, you can take a short term intraday sell call. If prices takes a U-turn without breaching the low and went above the high without any second thought, take the buy call. Prices are going to go up. And now see, this is the low, this is the high, and if I draw the trend line and the new pivotal point has been formed over here, so if I connect this line and then this line, then there will be a symmetrical triangle formation, right? So that means they are grabbing the liquidity right now, collecting the liquidity. Once it is done, then there will be a breakout into the prices. Now move on to the Australian pairs because we have the data. How we need to see how the market have reacted, and this is H4 time frame, right? I've been expecting that from this fair value gap, which I've marked with the gray area, I'm expecting a correction, but it have never did it this, right? And today, after a very zigzag movement, right, we can see the outside vertical formations, and right now the candles are heading towards the upside, right? But fundamentally, because Australian pairs are offering a very higher interest rate, prices will go up. But taking a buy call from this area is not a right thing. Why? See, there is one pattern which is called the diamond pattern, right? And diamond pattern has been forming. What is a diamond pattern? See this: high, 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 equivalent high. This is a diamond. Then we have a low, 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 this kind of pattern, right? So high probability that after a consolidation, there will be a correction toward the downside, and that is the time where we need to create a buy call in Australian pairs, right? Because every average Joe, Jin and Joe knows that because of this data, Australian dollars are going to get stronger, right? But not right now. This is not the right time. Wait for the prices to take the corrections. It have made a swing point high, right? And high probability that still we have 2 hours remaining, and this 4 hours is not going to breach the high of this candle. And if this happens, then a correction toward the downside is very promising. And once the 50 and 61.8 level is being tested, and then there will be a reversal, that is the time to take the buy call in the Australian pairs, right? But yes, if we have a look on odd JPY or any other currency pair which is the weakest and Australia is the strongest, we'll have a very clear direction. Let's have a look on the odd JPY pairs right now. See this, and this is a daily time frame, right? So just before, if I talk about yesterday, market have reacted very good. See these two candles. This candle have not taken the low of this candle. This small candle is the Sunday's candle, right? This is Mondays and this is Tuesday. So on Monday, the market have reacted toward the upside, right? But still, there is one high point. Now I need to draw my trend line by connecting the dots, right? And see how market is perfectly respecting this trend line. So the probability toward an upside move is quite high, but not from this level. So we need to have a smaller uh, analytical look on a smaller time frame. So see, this is a outside vertical. All the low which are resting below this, those who have taken the buy call, they have kept their stop losses, have been taken out, right? Those who have supporting the bear side power, right? They are holding their stop losses either here or either above this consolidation area, which have been taken, right? Now this is the start of a fresh move have been started. So this kind of sideways movement is still into the charts, right? So the probability that after a few time there will be a sudden breakout in the prices, and as per the data, that breakout is going to happen toward the upside. But again, the mass hysteria knows that there will be a strong move for the Australian pairs toward the upside. So before going up, there will be a trap into the market, and there will be a sudden fake breakout toward the downside is going to happen, and that is the time those who have watched this session, they are not going to take the sell call. They will wait for the rejection, and they'll take a buy call from the that fake breakout, right? Second reason which is confirming that there is an order block along with the fair value gap, right? So this would be that area. Then we have another fair value gap which is still unmitigated. So this would be the area, right? From where? So this is at around 112.14, which is the right time. This area is the right time to take a buy call, right? So wait for the prices to breach this area, then again let the market show its heads rising above this area, then you need to take the buy call and keep your stop losses below this fair value gap or this order block, right? Now let's move on to the next segment of the market, that is the indices, right? So for the indices, we need to see the Wall Street 30, right? So see, there is an sideways movement toward the downside, right? And because if we have a look on a bigger time frame, so strong fall into the prices, then again a correction, which is a correction to cover up the gap which have been created. That gap have been completed. Now, still this low has not been taken, right? And still prices are showing very good strength toward the downside. If we see this green candle, also a very strong wick, which is showing that yes, the sellers are still active and they are pushing the prices downwards. So my biasness is getting toward the sell side very high, and I'm very much optimistic that this low is going to be taken by the market. Now let's have a look on a H1 time frame because we are intraday trader. So the probability, let me draw the trend line over here, right? So we'll connect this two trend lines, right? This have been broken. Wait for the prices to retest this area, right? This area. After this retest, this would be my swing point, right? So I'll take only sell call if prices breaks this low over here, right? If this happens, then I take a sell call for the low which I've marked over here on a daily time frame, right? And if prices continue successfully above it, then I wait a candle to give me a close above this area, then take a retest, right? And whatever swings have been made, that is my time from where I need to take a buy call, right? So I need to wait for the market. So right now, Tuesday is telling us that have patience, wait for the market to complete its market symmetry, give you the confirmations which are required on the basis of technical charts. And once it is done, then you can take a call, right? And high probability that at the release of the pending home sales data, we are going to see a very good volatile movement into the prices. Now, the last section of the report, that is the BTC USD. And see, we've been continuously marking this area that prices are going to go up, and this is a daily time frame, right? Prices went above it, taken support from the apex of this symmetrical triangle which we have marked, and right now they are heading upward, successfully gave us a close above the high of above this swing highs, right? Which is in confirmation that still bulls have power and they can push the prices upwards. But yes, a short-term mere correction is been expecting into the prices because we have a very two strong candles, right? One red candle over here. So high probability that there might be a correction toward the downside till this area, right? Maybe today and tomorrow, and then again there will be a continuation. So prices might again retest the 71375 or 325 level, right? And from here, if you see again, this micro trend is going to continue taking a buy call because this would be our target area. These two red lines which I marked, right? Let me mark it very perfectly right over here. See, so this would be a potential target area which is at 78,000 and 80,000 levels, right? So that's all for my side, this side, Anurag. And just to conclude the session, we have seen the important news, right, which are important, latest news developments, which we have seen, right, how they are impacting the market. Then we have discussed the important macroeconomic factors. So for Tuesday, today, the pending home sales data is quite important, right? RBI have already increased their interest rates. Remember it. Now we need to see how other banks are reacting. We have discussed gold, silver, what kind of market structures are being forming. Then we have discussed the odd USD and odd JPY pairs. Still confirmation is needed. Then we have discussed the Wall Street 30. So we have seen that there is a two kind of patterns and confirmations are still pending. Once it is complete, then we are going to take the sell call, and the opportunity is going to create when we have the pending home sales data release. And in the last, we have the BTC USD waiting for the correction, which will give us a more good buying signals toward the upside, and the potential target area for that buy would resting around at 80,000 level. So I hope I have done my job perfectly to add value into your knowledge and clear all the noises so you can have very good trading opportunity to grab and make very good profit in such a turbulent time. So this side, Anurag, I thank you all of you for watching this briefing sessions with patience. And this side, Anurag, I've done for the day till the time. Have a great day. Have a great trading day. Bye bye. I request all of you to kindly leave the meet room. Thank you.